Over the past few years, Tesla has changed and repackaged their driver's assistance features, or more commonly known as Tesla Autopilot or Enhanced Autopilot. For instance, early Teslas did not come with Autopilot at all, or Enhanced Autopilot, and now all Teslas come with Autopilot Standard. And full self-driving used to be $5,000, and they've steadily increased the price from $6,000 to $7,000 and now $8,000 in 2020. And now, Tesla just announced that you can buy Enhanced Autopilot for $4,000 and actually get most of their features versus the more expensive full self-driving that's $8,000. Features like summons, auto lane change, auto park, traffic light and stop sign control beta, and hitting that like button for the YouTube algorithm. So in this video, we're going to go into all the features you get from buying Enhanced Autopilot versus the full self-driving, and whether I think it's worth it to buy the $4,000 Enhanced Autopilot now before the offer disappears at the end of this month. Let's get into the video. Thanks for watching another video, guys. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. I picked up my Tesla Model 3 about a year ago and I make videos about my experience. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. So when I got my Tesla Model 3 Performance Stealth, I bought in August of 2019, I actually purchased the full self-driving for $6,000 at the time of delivery. Since then, Tesla has steadily increased the price of full self-driving from $6,000 to $7,000 and now $8,000 in September of 2020. It is very known that Tesla will slowly keep increasing this price of full self-driving as more features become readily available. In its current state, Tesla full self-driving includes summons, which allows you to control your car using your phone, going back and forth and also calling your car to your location where you might be standing, and smart summons, which allows you to call your car from anywhere in the parking lot from its parking spot to where you're standing, auto park, which allows your Tesla to park itself, whether it's parallel parking or parking back up into a parking space, traffic light stop sign control beta, which allows you to go through intersections whether there's a traffic light or a stop sign, and it will stop at stop signs and stop lights, and your Tesla will proceed through green lights when it's safe to do so. The traffic light and stop sign control beta feature is actually one of its newest and is very buggy in local roads. I try to use it from time to time, but it's definitely not as good as autopilot on the highway. Navigate on autopilot, which allows you to go from on-ramp to off-ramp on the highway completely in autopilot. You can even choose to have your Tesla make lane changes automatically, or you can have it set to where you have to give it confirmation to make those lane changes. And finally, auto lane change. Auto lane change, which is a feature that allows Tesla to make lane changes for you, which I also feel is the only feature of full self-driving that's worth it at the moment. It used to be very buggy early on, but now it's a lot smoother and a lot less conservative than it used to before. It used to hesitate in the lanes and never really make that auto lane change for you, but now it's more aggressive, will quickly make the lane change for you into the other lane. And the next feature that's really not a feature currently, it's coming soon, and it's actually been coming soon for the past year, is auto steer in city and local roads. For all those features in full self-driving, you'll currently pay $8,000, which in my opinion is pretty steep. I actually made a video where I reviewed the full self-driving package and I tested all the different features and to see if it's actually worth the $8,000 high price tag. If you're interested in watching that, click above or down below in the description. From that video, I actually concluded that I wish Tesla would segment part of their features and sell it a la carte. For instance, like selling summons by itself for $2,000 and auto lane change by itself for another $2,000. I always thought that other Tesla owners would buy those features by itself based on their needs. Because in my opinion, auto lane change was really the only feature of full self-driving that's really worth it. To make a lane change while you're in autopilot, you would actually have to turn off the autopilot system, make the lane change by itself, and then re-engage the autopilot system. So on normal autopilot, if you're in auto steer, if you want to change lanes, you have to deactivate autopilot like this, make your lane change, and then throw on autopilot again. Whereas with auto lane change, you can completely stay in autopilot and let Tesla make the auto lane changes for you. So that's why I think it was worth it. Now that Tesla has repackaged some of these features and created Enhanced Autopilot for $4,000, I definitely think it's worth it. You basically get all the usable features of full self-driving now for $4,000 instead of buying some of the other features that aren't usable for $8,000. With Enhanced Autopilot, you get summons, navigate on autopilot, auto park, and auto lane change. The only drawback that I've heard is if you buy the $4,000 Enhanced Autopilot now, you'll have to pay $5,000 for the full self-driving package later, which would bring your total cost of full self-driving to $9,000. I feel like this is a pretty safe bet, as all the other unusable features of full self-driving like stop sign, traffic control like beta, and city driving won't be available in a smoother implementation for another year or two. And a lot of other people have noted that saving or investing the $4,000 difference could probably net you higher returns, and then you can purchase the full self-driving package later. Another thing is, if you're like most owners that only keep their car 3 to 5 years, buying the full self-driving package for $8,000 might be a really steep bet to place on yourself and the car. But instead, paying $4,000 now for the usable features of the full self-driving package might be worth it. Summons is definitely a party trick, which is cool to show your friends, and sometimes I use summons to back out of really tight parking spots. Auto park I do use on occasion when I'm lazy to try and parallel park myself. Navigate on autopilot is usable, but sometimes I do have to turn it off depending on the complications of highway roads. For instance, if you're in an HOV lane and you hit use HOV lanes, sometimes Tesla wants to change out of those lanes because it thinks it's not going fast enough. And of course, auto lane change is really the only usable feature, but I could also argue paying $4,000 for that feature itself isn't worth it. If I currently didn't have full self-driving, I would 100% purchase the Enhanced Autopilot now and bank on the other features being available at a later date. In my opinion, this move by Tesla is definitely a revenue grab, as they know that the quarter is ending soon, and they also know that a lot of Tesla owners will probably purchase this. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on whether you think Enhanced Autopilot is worth the $4,000 currently or not. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hit that like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya! You can really, with summons, pull the car out forward. What's that noise? That's a loud pitch noise. And you can have it go backwards as well. Then at wherever you're at in a parking lot, and the car will come directly to you. So the car is recognizing me and it's coming directly to me slowly. And it's giving up a little bit and struggling. And okay, and it gave up. So take vehicle to a complete stop, go ahead and hit start, and as you can see, I just have to release it and it should be able to start auto parking. So cool thing is it also works in parallel parking spots and reverse parking spots as well, which is pretty nice. So this is really just if you're lazy or if you're bad at parallel parking, then I would just use this feature as well. But right now it's going pretty slow and people are wondering why I'm parking so slow. And it stopped. And it's just struggling here. Okay, so we're just gonna give up on that one because there's a car just wondering why we're just failing at parking right now.